It's April 1st, 2024. I'm Todd Dunn, and today, this is not an April Fool's video. I'll start by saying that. What I'm going to do today is talk about uh, my recovery from my total knee replacement surgery, which was 13 months ago, and see how things are going. Now, I'm going to start out by saying that when I had the surgery, I was pretty confident that I would be fully recovered at the 1 year mark. Well, I'm not. Uh, as I said in my last video, which I made right after I saw the surgeon for my 1 year checkup, and they x-rayed my knee and took a look at everything. Everything with the implant is just the way it's supposed to be. But I still have muscle issues. I had them a month ago, and I still have them today. I think they're a little better. They're slowly getting better. Anyway, so what are my muscle issues? I'm going to rearrange the camera so you can see my knee, and we'll talk about it then. Okay, here's the front view of my right knee. You can still just see a little bit of the scar where they did the incision. Right now I have the knee locked up straight and the muscles in it are tensed. I've been doing an isometric exercise a number of times a day where I tense my knee up like this, straighten it out completely, tense it up, and hold it where all the muscles in my leg are tensed for, a minute to 2 minutes. And I do that a number of times a day. Now, what else? Where are the issues? Well, the main issue I have in my leg is right in here. This area gets quite sore during the course of a day, and it does get a little bit swollen. And the surgeon also said there was a little fluid under my kneecap. I don't think there's much. This issue, mostly it's right here. It can be dealt with by just applying a little bit of pressure right there. For example, it hurts a little there now. If I push on it, it doesn't hurt. So what I tend to do if I'm going to go out and walk is I wrap an elastic bandage around my leg. I don't wrap it particularly tight, just enough to put a little pressure on there. Then the knee itself feels fine, but the elastic bandage does make the muscles in my thigh ache a little. So let's turn sideways. Here is where the discomfort is, right here. It's not horrible. I mean, I can go out and walk a couple miles and it will be unpleasant by the time I'm done, but it doesn't hurt that much. Anyway, let me rotate this slightly. Okay, now let's bend my knee. I'm just doing a knee bend right now. So strength isn't really an issue. I can do, pretty deep knee bends. I can kneel, and I can walk around pretty much as I want. I went for a 1 mile walk yesterday, 2 mile walk the day before, and in about half an hour we're going to go for about a 2 mile walk. And tomorrow we're planning to do about a 3 mile walk. So I can do it, just a little bit of discomfort. And as I said, it does appear to be getting better. But as I said, I'm 13 months out, and I was hoping that by this time I would be fully recovered, that I wouldn't feel any discomfort in my knee at all. The other thing that is noteworthy about the way my knee feels is that it often feels very stiff, as if it's not going to want to bend. But as you saw where I did a bit of a squat, I can bend it without any trouble. I can bend it, in fact, to around 130 degrees. That seems to be about my upper limit. And so that isn't really a problem. Anywhere from 120 to 130 is perfectly acceptable for range of motion. And I can straighten my leg completely straight. And as I said, I do that frequently by extending my leg out straight and tensing up all the muscles in my leg to work on strengthening my leg. I also do, in addition to that exercise, when I wake up in the morning and before I go to bed at night, while I'm lying on my back in the bed, I do the exercise called a heel slide, where I just slide my heel up and bend my knee. And I can get to about 120 degrees when I do that. And I usually do 10 to 20 of those at night before I go to sleep and in the morning before I get up. And I walk, as I said, anywhere from about a mile to as much as 3 miles a day, depending on weather. For example, Wednesday and Thursday, we're supposed to have a nasty storm. It's supposed to snow all day each day. I probably won't do much walking on those days. But if I don't go out, I take advantage of the fact that I live in a 3-story house. And I have stairs from the ground floor, where I am now, in the guest room, up to the top floor, where the master bedroom is 28 steps. And in a typical day, I'll go up and down those steps, 10 to 15 times, particularly on rotten weather days where I don't really want to go out and slog around in a blizzard. I'll do it more. And I go up and down the stairs totally normally. That is, just step over step, none of this up with the good leg, down with the bad leg sort of thing. And I try not to use the railings, although a lot of the time when I'm going up and down the stairs, I'm carrying something, and then I'll use the hand that isn't involved in carrying on the railing. And those 28 steps are 15 steps from the first floor to the ground floor. We have an L-shaped staircase, just a conventional staircase with a landing in about the middle. And going up to the 3rd floor is a spiral staircase with 13 steps. And so I get lots of exercise for my knee going up and down the stairs, and then I get general leg exercise walking. And get, quite a bit of exercise, at least an hour every day, either outside walking or on a bad weather day going up and down stairs and walking around the house. So I don't have any issues really with strength in my knee. The only issue I have left is this little bit of pain right at the knee, but just on the outside of the knee, just below the kneecap, sort of in the middle of the joint. But it is a muscle pain or maybe a ligament. It is not associated with the prosthetic. And I can tell that because when I wrap the elastic bandage around that to put just a little bit of pressure on, the joint feels 100% okay. And the issue with the sore spot on my leg goes away. And I'm fine. And I can sit with my legs bent right now. They're not bent much, maybe 85 degrees, but I can sit here all day if I want. That doesn't bother me. And I have one of these little stationary bike things. It's just the pedals down on the floor in front of me, and I will pedal that. I'll come down and pedal it for 10 or 15 minutes, usually at least once a day. And that, loosens my knee up quite a bit. In fact, as you can tell from the way my body's moving, I'm doing it right now. And I'll just keep going. And I've got it set up so that it requires me to bend the knee a little bit past 90 degrees. This is different than bike riding because there's no load on it. I have not ridden my bike yet. I may take it out and ride it a little bit. The disadvantage for riding my bike is that we live on a gravel road, and my bike is pretty old. It's a racing bike, and it doesn't work on gravel. The tires are too narrow. when you've got 1-inch wide tires with 100 psi in them. They just dig into the gravel, and it isn't a very good bike to work out on. It's a road bike, basically. So, you know, maybe I'll get it out this summer. I don't like to ride it much in the summer because there are no bike paths here, and the roads are pretty narrow. They don't have shoulders that are paved, and in the summer we get a lot of tourist traffic, and it's quite dangerous to ride your bike on the roads around here. And in the winter, it's not so good because the roads are covered with snow and ice. Anyway, so that's where I am. Still some discomfort in my knee. Like right now, it's feeling a little bit tight. Let's see if I can move this thing a little closer to me. Yeah. As I pedal, you know, when I get it up to about an 80-degree bend, it does feel a little tight. The pedal has slid away from me a little bit. But, you know, it isn't, you know, excruciatingly painful. It's just discomfort. And as I said, I can just keep going like this for, well, more or less as long as I want. If I have something to do so I'm not bored, I can be down here doing this for 15, 20 minutes, no problem. And that does help with flexibility for my leg. Okay, so that's where I am 13 months out. My knee is not fully recovered yet. I wish it was, but it is not. And there clearly is something messed up with the ligaments or the muscles on the outside of my right knee. And just below the knee, when I bend it, it pulls a little bit. So I think there's a ligament in there that is tight and not happy. When I saw the surgeon last month, after he looked it over, I explained how it felt when we looked at all the spots, and he, you know, after he x-rayed it, he felt my knee while I was bending it, and he twisted my leg and everything, and said everything is tight, the implant is fine, it's not moving. There's no sign of it loosening up, either when he was hands-on my knee or when he looked at the x-rays. And he said he doesn't know what's causing this issue. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is continue to do bending exercises. One of the things that I do every time I get up from being seated in a chair is I go over to the stairs and I put my right foot up on the second step and I bend my knee and I lean into it. And I'll continue that bend for 30 seconds to a minute. And then I'll stretch the leg for a little bit and then go about my business. But I do that, well, probably 10 or 12 times a day. And up and down the stairs, and then the heel slides, and also seated knee bends where I sit on a chair and I bend my knee back as far as I can. I scoot forward on the chair, and then I hook my other ankle over my other foot over my ankle and push my knee back as far as I can. And, you know, that gets me to 130 degrees, and I'll hold that for a minute or two. I've really taken to doing a lot of bend and hold type exercises. So, you know, that's what it is. Oh, I am still icing my knee a couple times a day. Particularly when I get back from my walk today, I will ice my knee for 20 or 30 minutes. And that does help some. And the difference between icing my knee now and icing my knee, say, a month after the surgery, was a month after the surgery, it did give me some relief and it did cut down on swelling. But my leg did not feel cold. Now I definitely feel the cold from the ice pack. I don't have very much swelling at all. It does help a little bit with that, and it does give me some relief from the knee feeling really tight. Anyway, so that's where I am, 13 months out. Not 100% yet, but getting a little bit closer every month. And I'm hoping that, in another month, it'll be a little bit closer. And that I don't hit a plateau, because right now, sometimes I feel like my knee hurts as much as it did before the surgery, and that's not acceptable. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it at this point. So just keep working on the exercises and bending, do squats and various knee bends, and strengthen my leg as much as I can. I have found, for example, that the isometric exercises where I straighten my knee and tighten up all the muscles actually help a lot. And so I've been doing, 15-20 minutes of that every day for the last couple of weeks, and it has made a difference. So I'm hoping by this time next year that my knee will feel completely fine. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in a month with my 14-month update.